Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, you may notice we have a bit of a different level than what we had before when we last left off. Like I said, I was going to put in a little more interesting levels so that we could map it out. This is a start of a level that I had lying around. I didn't make this just for this this video. I started to do that, but then I realized, I'm spending a lot of time and effort doing that, and what's the point when I've already got this one sitting here, right? So as you can see, if we look over here and I focus in on this guy, I've made a map of it using pretty much the same procedure as I made before. I think I might have simplified it even a little bit. I didn't quite go as far as I did last time. This is, I think I took a screenshot and then I just did find edges. Now, this would need some serious cleanup. It's still not really map ready. There's a lot of kind of junk going through here, but for a temporary map, it's fine. Okay. You'll notice there's a lot of junk over here that, this is kind of out of control. I'm going to spend some time cleaning this up over the course of the next while. I don't know, a couple of videos probably. And kind of clean out all the stuff that we're not using at the moment. I want this to be nice and clean so that everything's organized. It's I go on and on about organization, guys. When you're doing a game, it's really important to be organized. You gotta. There's so many things going on. If you're not organized, it's going to very quickly get out of control. So make sure that you keep stuff organized as best you can. Sometimes it's not so easy, but do your best. Anyway, so let's take a quick look at what we've got going here. Okay, and there you go. We've got a lower frame rate than what we had before. So a lot of that is coming from the chandeliers, which are not on any kind of system yet. There's a lot of lights going on in there, and same thing with fireballs. This is obviously a much more complicated scene than what we had before. So yeah, I've still got some seam issues I can see. I just saw one right there. Yeah, there's a bit of a seam right there. And there's some flashing up in here. It's coming from this light. Whoa. Very dark. Not quite sure why that's so dark. So anyway, yeah, there's a bit of our level. Actually, this is the same level that I showed you guys in the first video. So anyway, minus some of the decorative stuff. I took out all the non-level stuff. So yeah, there you go. Okay, you can see our mini maps down here. It's got it's not quite filling in this whole thing, but that's okay. We're gonna fix that this episode anyway. So yeah, let's get going. First off, I want to do something about the shape of this thing. It's when I think of mini maps, I don't think of this big square thing that sits in the middle like this. I want a nice round map, right? That's typically when I think of mini maps. That's what I think of. So let's get on that. In order to do that, guys, we're going to have to write a shader. So I'm going to create in Assets. I'm going to create a new folder, and we'll call this Shaders. Okay, then we'll hit Create in the shader. We'll hit New. And we'll hit shader. That's what we want. Okay, what do we want to call this? That's a good question. I'm going to say, I'm going to call this user interface, UI, transparent. And I'm going to limit this to a UI for a reason. So this will be the shader that we use for anything that's user interface related that needs some sort of transparency. And I'll show you why in a bit. So okay, let's go ahead and double click on that. It's going to open up in Visual Studio. And there you go. So immediately we've got a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to take out all of this, pretty much all of it. And the second thing I'm going to do is fix this because that drives me crazy. I don't know codes like this. We don't need any of this. We can dump all that. And I'm not going to worry about the subshader, or the fallback. Okay, so you got our basically that's the outline of a shader. So actually, if I go back into Unity right now, oh, we got a syntax error. What did I do? Did I lose a? Where'd it go? Oh, I didn't put in the pass. Okay, I must have lost the pass when I was taking stuff out. Okay, that's the outline of a shader. See if that? Yeah, Unity's happy. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy right here, this map, his material, wherever that is, right there, and I'm going to switch over to custom, and there's our UI transparent. Now it's under custom UI transparent, okay, because of this name right here. Okay, so that's how Unity knows where to put it, right? So okay, we immediately lost our map. That's fine. So I'm going to do this kind of step by step, guys. Oops, that was right. Just so you know kind of what each thing does. So I'm going to put in two textures. We'll do main text, and then we'll give it a name, main texture. This is going to be 2D, and you got to give it some kind of default deal, so white with the things after it. Okay, this is I'm gonna give it another texture as well, the mask. While we're doing this, guys, I should point out that this is Unity's shader language. This is not C# or anything like that. It's this is 2D, and we're going to give it a default of white. So yeah, this is a whole nother language to learn. So what we've just done is we've set up two texture slots. Okay, so now let's look at what that does in Unity. So you see we've gone pink. Now let's take a look at the app material. That's what I want. There we go. And I'm not coming up with my map. Oh, we got a syntax error. Now what did I do? Line 5. Oh. Yes, okay. Right. I don't know why I put brackets there. There, now Unity's happy. Okay, so if you look at the map material, guys, you see we now have two slots. This is already putting stuff in because I kind of already played with this once before. But okay, so we've got our map back. I'm going to turn this off for right now. Okay, so if you look at the thing, you can see, nothing's happening here. But so we've set our main texture in here. Okay. The other thing, what I want to put in the mask is we need something to tell the shader where to draw and where not to draw. So in order to do that, I have created a circular mask, which is right here. You can see this guy has white all the way around the edges, and it's transparent around the corners. In Photoshop, this is black. Okay. The reason it's coming up as transparent is because I've got this alpha from grayscale checked. If I apply that, it'll turn black again. So if you go into the advanced section of your texture import type, and you turn on alpha from grayscale, and alpha is transparent, and then apply that. It'll transparent out the edges, just like that. So, okay, let's go back to our material. Pick up our map material, and then texture. So let's throw that mask, that round mask, into our mask. Okay, so now you've got your texture, which is the map, and you've got a round mask. But of course nothing's happening yet because we haven't told it what to do with that. Okay, so in the subshader, so we got two different parts here. We have the pass, and then we have in front of the pass. This front pass is you can kind of set it up to tell the shader how to deal with the things. And the other thing I really want to deal with right here is I want to say lighting off. Okay, and this is the reason why this is going to be limited to UI only. The light, we don't want the light affecting this map, right? So I'm just going to turn this off. Now, technically, guys, this command right here is considered obsolete. You're supposed to write a surface shader to do this kind of thing, but that is way overkill for what we want to do. There's a command for turning off the lights, and I'm just going to use it. Okay, Unity won't complain. It's it's fine. There's no reason. You could go in and write a surface shader and turn the lighting off. Technically, that's really how you're supposed to do it, apparently, these days. But seriously, it's one command. Okay, there's no reason to go through all that effort. Writing a surface shader is, I wouldn't say complicated, but it's more complicated than writing a simple command, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and say, so in the pass, we're going to set texture. And I'm going to set main text. And then I will say combine texture. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for right now. So what I'm telling it is to set the texture as the main text, which is this guy right here. And combine texture just means how to combine with any other textures you set, but we haven't set any other textures, so there's nothing really to say right here. So we'll just leave it right as that. So in Unity, you see our texture comes up. Now we got back to where we were. Okay, so you can see it's working. Now, here's the tricky bit. For that texture, I'm going to say set texture. We're going to do the mask first. So we'll do the same thing. Combine texture. We're not going to set any parameters, but this one we're going to add a parameter previous. Okay. So now I've set two textures. This may not work quite yet, but let's go see what we've got here. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Which is fine. The reason it's not doing anything is because we haven't told it how to combine those textures, really, right? We've said combine the main texture with the mask texture, but we really haven't told it how to do that. So let's go up here. We're going to say blend source alpha. And I'm going to use the flag 1 minus source alpha. That's a little bit tricky to explain. The deal is it's going to take the mask and combine it with the texture in such a way that the transparency bleeds through. You'll see what I mean when we go back into Unity. And there you go. Got a little bit of border edges, but you shouldn't be able to see that. So let's take a look and see what that looks like as we run it. And there you go. We got a nice round mini-map. Very cool. Okay, now, what about this blue? Let's do something about that blue. That's no good, right? Okay, let's go to the map camera, and we're going to set the clear flags to don't clear. The culling mask we leave alone, that's what we want. Okay, I think if we set that to don't clear, that should give us what we want. And there you go. There you go, you got a nice, neat little mini map down at the bottom. Pretty cool, guys, huh? Okay, let me take a look at my code here. I could add a tag to this. I probably should. Everything's fine. It's working the way I want. I'm just going to throw a quick tag in there. This is for use later on when we want to. There'll be times when we want to have certain shaders do interact with certain things, and you can do that with the tags. Okay, so I'm just going to tag that with a transparent tag. Shouldn't make any difference to what we're doing. Shouldn't, better not. And there you go. Very nice. Okay, cool, guys. Okay. Okay, gang. Just real quick. I notice this is a little bit far over, so I'm gonna go 0.75. Let's pull this over a little bit. And 2.5. Oops, that's the width. That's not what I want. 2.5. Let's make it square. There. That's better. Let's see, 0.75 plus 0.3 is 105. Okay, well, it's sitting in the corner. That's what we want. So I gotta remember these numbers because we're gonna lose them. 75, 1, 3, 3. $75, 1, 3, and 3. Okay, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, gang. The second thing I want to do, let's see if we could put a border around this. Now, it turns out I have such a border somewhere. Let me find it. There we go. I've created, just by playing around in Photoshop, I created a map kind of border thing. I also created a compass border. So let's change these guys. I'm going to change them to texture. Don't need an ANSIO on them. And we'll go advanced. And I'm going to turn off the bitmaps. And that's all we need there. So compass border, same thing. Texture. Go to advanced. We do not need ANSIO. We do not need bitmaps. And we want to check these two boxes. Let's apply that. There you go. Okay. Now I haven't tried this, so your guess is as good as mine as whether this is going to work or not. So, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little plane. I'm going to copy him. I'm going to paste him as a new map. I'm going to drop this in here. We're going to change this to map border. Drop you down here so you're underneath this. You know what, guys? I'm going to create... So can I do it here? I could. An empty game object. And I'm going to say map system. Let's just drop these guys inside here, just to keep everything organized. Okay. So for this guy, we're going to need a new material. So let's see, that material. Can't duplicate him here, can I? Guess not. Okay, that's fine. Let's just create a new material. Map border material. Okay, we're going to set him to custom UI transparent because this is the same deal. And then under textures, we're going to grab the compass border for the texture. And we're going to grab the compass border map for that. And then we're going to take this map border material. Wherever he went. Oh, materials. And we're going to throw them on here. Let's check it out and see what that does. Pretty good, except we've lost our map in the background. Yes, okay. Right, because we told the camera not to clear. Okay. Let's go into our shader, guys. And I'm going to tell the shader, let's see. I'm going to try turning off the Z-Write. Let's see what that does for us. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so what was happening there is even though this is transparent, it was still writing to the Z buffer, which was overwriting this whole thing. We just wanted to turn that off so that the map comes through. Okay, but you see we're not really in the right place. So let's take a look at, let's grab the map camera. And I'm going to take this guy, the map camera. Is there any way to see that without? All right. I'm going to take this, copy it, and I'm going to paste it into where you are. That should center it. I think. No, it's really not. Okay, what we're going to have to do, let's see. the way to do this so I can see both of them at the same time. There we go. Let's make sure I got the border. And then we're going to have to scale him a little bit. So I'm going to do a uniform scaling up. Unfortunately, we're going to lose the camera view a little bit. So what I'm going to do, here I got to copy these values. Okay, so stop there. Let's paste those in. Okay, so that should be permanent. Very nice. It's looking a little bit like a map now. We gotta fix the camera. So let's go to the camera. It's a little bit hard because I need more screen real estate, really. Let's see the yeah, what's happening is the viewport size is a little bit low. 0.35. That's not what I want to change. That's the size I want to change. Okay. Let's get it so it's in the thing, and then let's increase his height a little bit. So probably a little low. 0.4, 0.4. Whoop, what did I do with my camera? Okay, let's take a look and see what that looks like, guys. Let's get full screen view so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. The thing that's happening here is our camera scale is relative to the size of our screen, so it's not. We're gonna have to fix that at some point. I'm not gonna worry about it too much at the moment. Seven. Whole thing's a little bit big, maybe. Five by 0.25. Yeah, that's better. I mean, yeah, we could move it a little, but yeah, there you go. Now it's starting to look a little bit like a map, huh? It's not interactive or anything, but it's getting there. All right. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, gang. That's as far as I want to take the map for right now. There's one other thing I want to do, and I guess we can start it now. And it may seem like a bit of a 90-degree turn that we're doing here. Just kind of going off into some weird space. But we need to start thinking about a couple of like meta systems. We need a couple of game controllers, a game manager kind of deals. And the reason being is we're about to run into a place where where we're going to have two different kind of states of the game. We're going to be in the main state where you're walking around the dungeon level, right? But we're also going to have a map state. And the key presses that you're going to be using are going to be the same keys, but they're going to do different things, right? So we need a system to handle that. So what I'm going to do is I want to create an object in the game that kind of manages that sort of stuff. It needs to persist across levels. So the way Unity works, I'm about to drop back into VideoPad Editor in a minute here, guys. The way Unity works is you run your level, and when you switch levels, everything gets unloaded, right? And then it loads the next level. Well, this game manager is going to keep track of not only key presses, and it's going to keep track of anything that you need to really run the game, like what missions the players run, their health, the status of the character, any collectibles, any of that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff you don't want to unload, right? You want that to persist across levels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to create an empty game object. Okay. And I'm going to kind of get him out of the way so he's not, somewhere where he's going to be like in the way of anything. Maybe over here by the maps. And I'm going to call him Game Manager. Okay. Now, don't mess this up. I'm going to come into my game scripts and I'm going to create a new script. C# script. And we're going to call this level persist. All right, let's pop that open. And the only thing I really want in here is one function, void awake. And all we need to say in here is on awake, don't destroy on load, and we need the object. So we're going to do the transform dot game object. Okay, and we don't need any of this other stuff. Okay, this command tells Unity we do not want to destroy the object during level transitions. So we'll just take that script. We're going to throw it on. Why you're not letting me grab it? We're going to throw it on Game Manager. And there you go. That object will now no longer be destroyed when the level changes. So yeah. Okay, guys. Now, we're going to write a couple of scripts, a couple of classes, really, I should say, that are going to sit underneath this game manager. Game manager is going to kind of be the overall manager of the class, and we're going to have some stuff that's underneath them. There's a couple different ways we could do this. We could write these as standard C# scripts and stick them kind of inside the game manager script itself. Not this one, but like we could write another script that says game manager, like game manager, and then instantiate the classes that we want. The other way of doing it, which is the way I think I want to use, is we could actually create game objects and stick them underneath this. So I think I want to do that. So we're going to change you to player state. Okay. And then I'm going to add a script to that. No, that's not the way you do it. So we're going to create a new script. Okay. So we're going to create a C# script. We're going to call this player state. Okay. And we'll pop that open. For some reason it didn't open. Let's try that again. Thank you. Okay, there we go. So, yes, we're gonna make this a script, and we're gonna give it a mono here so I can drag it over to the one. So the job of player state is to track the player's state, right? And right now there's only gonna be 2 of them, so we're gonna put in a couple of enums. Okay, so yeah, gotta give this a name. Let's just call it player state. Let's call it state. And we'll only have 2 possible states right now. We're gonna have the main state. I don't know what to call this. The playing, maybe. And then the second one we want is map view, something like that. I'm not going to worry about any of these for right now. Okay. Playing in map view, and then we'll go void. No. Tell you what, we'll make a property. So, sorry guys, I haven't really thought this through as much as I probably should have, but state current state. And then we'll do a get and a set. The set, though, I don't know that I want to make this default, so we're going to do set player state. Set player state. Okay. Get will just be default. We don't care about that. But when we set a new state, we're gonna have to do some stuff, right? So yeah, let's set player state. We'll set up a kind of a skeleton for that. I'm gonna set the value in here. New state. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. So this, every time we change states, it'll run this set player state function. If I can make this private. I think I can. Okay. Oh, nope, I can't. Never mind. I knew that. Current state. Okay, guys. Unity does not like default values or default getters or setters. I guess I actually have to do this. Return current state. Alright, there we go. Now we got a bunch of warnings, but that's alright. It's because I've got a bunch of junk in the thing. Okay, so what we got here is the ability to set the state, the current state of the player. And whenever the player state gets set, it's going to call this function. Okay, and we'll put some stuff in here later. Okay, so that's the skeleton of that. So let's take that script. Jeez, a bunch of junk in here. And we're going to throw it onto player state. Okay. I'm going to create another object. And we're going to call this one input manager. So I'm going to take this, just to be consistent, take out that space. Okay. Unity has, if I remember where it is, here. Unity has this nice input manager already, where you can set some stuff, and that's great. And we're going to be using that. However, it doesn't really go far enough for what we want to do. Ultimately, what I would like is for the input manager to control two different things. One, it's got to change the input, which I just lost, of course. I want it to set these values, like for example, horizontal. Okay, so we've got it set to the A key or the D key. I would like for the input manager to feed values into these things depending upon the state that we're in, right? So if you're in the map and we hit, or say we're in the regular game and we hit the M key, that should switch us over to the map, okay? And that's going to be handled by the input manager. But at that point, if we hit the M key again, we don't want to switch over to the map, we want to switch back to the game. So we have to change what's in here depending upon the current state that we're in, right? So I'm going to create a script. Input manager. I don't want to call too many things input manager because that's going to get confusing. Bring it up, please. Thank you. The other thing I wanted to control, guys, is various controllers. So we may be controlling via the keyboard, we may be controlling via a controller, like a Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. Depending upon the control systems we're using, we want to be able to switch, even in real time, switch back and forth between those control systems. So there's two different kind of things going on here. I probably should do a design video on what we're going to do here. I haven't made any collections in this one, but for right now I'm going to leave it alone. I haven't really thought this entirely through yet, but how do I want to do this? Okay, let's set ourselves up an enum, and we'll set it up as control type, and then we'll set keyboard, Xbox controller, or PlayStation controller. We'll just set up those three for right now. Okay. And then let's go ahead and set, do I want to make this a property or do I want to make it a variable? We'll just make it a variable. Whoops. We'll say current control type. And we'll make that private. Okay. I want to set, I want to make a function. So set set controls, and we'll take as an input, we'll take a state. Well, that's not very good, is it? Player state. Player state, state. Okay. Yes, that is what I want to do. Make this public, and we're going to say down here in the set player state, we're going to say if the player state changes, we're going to go input manager dot set controls. Okay, we needed the instance. Let's set controls, new state. Okay, so now we need to get an instance. Just copy this whole thing. Input manager instance, and then in public start. Sorry, start instance equals this. There you go. That should take care of that. So controls new state. Why are you still unhappy? Player state dot player state. That's the problem. There we go. Okay, Okay guys, so what we want to do with this now is now we need a list of controls. Dictionary would be the best thing to use, I think. Okay, yes. So I'm going to change this to generic, and what we're going to do is set up a private dictionary. Okay, what do we want to do here? Let's do a pair of strings. And we'll call this keyboard. Keys. Main. Keys main equals new dictionary string like such. I'm just thinking about what I want to do here, gang. I may end up changing this later on after I think about this for a minute, because there's also going to be there's a couple of extra added wrinkles, and I can make this really complicated. For right now, let's just leave it. Keys main dot add. Okay, this is where we need to start adding things. Quote map m. Let's go exit dot escape key. I'm assuming these are strings. I could be wrong about that. Let's check the input manager. I think these are hopefully they're what I want. I think that's how I want to do this. There's a lot of extra functions in here. I'll deal with that later though. Okay. Member names cannot be the same as their... What's it complaining about? Oh, shoot. I was afraid of that. Player state type. Okay. State type state. Do I need this in here? Yes, I do. Otherwise, it doesn't know what to do with it. Okay. All right. Forward is the W key. W. Let's make this lowercase. Backward is the S key. And then we'll go left and right. And we'll go left as the A, right as the D. Okay. We'll just set up some really simple key commands for right now. I'm going to copy this down, and I'm going to go keyboard keys map. This is probably not really how I want to do this, guys, but for right now it'll work. Add exit is going to be escape. We'll also add exit as the M key as well. We'll change these to north, south, west, and east. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, I don't want to do it like this. This is actually really not a great way to do it, but for right now it'll work. I'll go back in and fix this later. Really, we just want to be able to switch between the two different states. So let's do a switch state. Case playing in map view. Dot map view. That's the way that works. Okay, we'll set up the skeleton of that. There you go. Okay, guys. Maybe I'm going to stop here. We set up the skeleton of this. Okay, it's not working yet, but it's got the basic idea in. We have our two states, and we are using the same keys to do different things in each state. And all we got to do is feed this to the input manager. And I may have to do a little bit of research on how to set this up, because the input manager, as you can tell, is a little more complex than just a single string, right? And I may end up taking all of this out and replacing it with my own controls. So yeah. Yeah, we'll stop here, and I'll think about this some more. Yeah, because I'm not really loving this, actually. There should really be a better way to do that. We can possibly set this up a little nicer. Maybe. I'll think about it. Anyway, and then yeah, we'll have to feed this over to the input manager, Unity's input manager. So we'll do that. Okay, guys. But I think we've made some relatively decent progress. The map looks like a map. I think it's a little big. Probably needs to be shrunk a bit. And we've got to start on our input manager, where we're gonna feed controls back and forth. So yeah. In the next one, I'm going to start working on getting this to rotate. That'll be the job of our next video, and we'll maybe do a little bit more of that, but that'll be the main thing that we're going to work on. Okay, so we'll stop here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.